Oh man, CSS battle time. We have a frog? Let's say it's a frog. Alright. Oh, I was hoping this background was white, but it's all E's, apparently. Oh man, this is so interesting. This is gonna be fun. Alright. So, I mean, I know without a doubt these eyes are gonna have a linear gradient and a radial gradient, but they also have to have border radius to contain that outer circle. I mean, I could stack another radial gradient and size it to be like transparent and then whatever, but then you run in, then I'd have to figure out how to block that box underneath it. So I think this will be my last element, so that I can, because nothing else has border radius on it. So I'm definitely gonna have a paragraph tag. This I can do with border, I think, or a box shadow. Actually, I could just have a white box with that box shadow. Just yeah. If it's that thickness, this thickness, and I do a radius and shift it up. No, yeah. I can make that work. I can make that work with a box shadow. I could do border too. Border's probably less, but if I do that, I have to do no border on the bottom. Box shadow, I just have to write the one. Because I could do border and then do the shorthand for border width for each of the sides. I think a box shadow is going to be easier to set and then remove on a later element. So okay, I think this could be my HTML element. Actually, this. See, I'm trying to think of if I can avoid position fixed, but I want this bit of border. Because what I'm also thinking, here's my other thought, is I can make one of these eyes and box reflect it over. And that's the really nice part about box reflect, is not having to do a second one. I mean, I could do a second one and then just margin it into place, but then yeah. But I was also thinking with box reflect, if this is the right dimension underneath this square, then it would just box reflect into the right spot. But I can do the whole thing with box shadow, so I don't have to box reflect it, and then I'll make this 2 elements, and I think that'll actually be less than the box reflect. Box reflect is good if you can get it to couple with a few different elements. All right, here's what we're doing. I think I'm not going to try to do too much with the HTML element. You know, sometimes I do it with like a big box shadow and I margin things down to use it for one of the elements here, and I think it's just going to be that off-white background. And then the body will be this right here, and then we'll have 3 paragraph tags. The reason for the body to be this right here is it can have share the same background as the HTML element. So I think that will work. Getting a lot of parts moving through here. Hopefully everything lines up. Let's see, we can just do EEE because we don't have to do all 6. When you just there's the 6 inputs for the 3 color channels. There's red, green, blue, right? Each one takes 2, and then alpha, if you want to do 8, is the last 2. But if you just do 3, it's sort of like with the margin shorthand, how it goes, oh, this first one's top and bottom. And I don't have a second, input for this, so I'm just going to reuse that first one. Same thing with hex codes. It just reuses the first one when it knows that that's what it needs. Okay, so we're going to give this a box shadow. And we're going to give it... we're going to do that. We're going to do -10 pixels up, right? And then we're going to do no blur and like 10 pixel expansion. Okay, so that we have that shape, and then we're going to give it the light green color. Yep. And so then when we margin this down, we're going to give it like 150, and it's going top and bottom like I was talking about. 100 and 0, let's do that. Okay, so we'll have to fix our box shadow a little bit, because what we're doing is we're getting an expansion and shifting it up. So I think actually what I need to do is just put that to 0, and that's what I need to do. Just the expansion is what our size. Oh, but then I needed to move it up. I needed to move it up so that the bottom part wasn't going to show. That was my whole plan. I can do it. I can do it. I can still do it. I just have to math the math. We'll move it up. It'll end up being... No, that won't work, because the sides will grow too much, and then it'll be twice as tall on the top. Border it is. I always get messed up with box shadow. I like go down that road, and then I realize that it's not actually going to work the way I'm thinking I can make it work, which is sad. I mean, border bottom I could make transparent. I could make it that white color. White color is actually less, so yeah, let's do the border. I think it's that solid, and we're gonna do light green. There we go. And then do I want to do border color, border width, border bottom? Which one's going to be less? I guess border color and border width are less, except width I can just do 15 pixels, 15 pixels, 15 pixels. Oh, wait. 0. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because I can use a little bit of shorthand with the bottom one. All right, so this is going to be like 50. Bring it up. There we go. 60. That looks about right. 120. Hey, and our width is good. 180. 200, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, so we got our body in place. It's not horrible. We can get rid of this because we're setting our width elsewhere. If you don't have a width on your border, it's not going to show up, but because we are setting a border width, we can get rid of it there. Okay. I am okay with this. All right. Now I'm going to save myself some time and do a position fixed on this p tag. It just makes life so much easier. I mean, I know there's ways to get around it, but I kind of want to do other things tonight too and not spend a lot of time on this. So I'm going to do position fixed. Quality of life matters. Padding, we're going to give it 100 by 50. It's probably way too much, but we're going to find out. Background. It's going to be dark green. It's not showing up yet. Probably weird margins, that's why. Let's overwrite the margin and see what happens. 0 in there. Oh, don't have it yet. There we are. Okay. Oh, and it has a border. Border. All right, how do I want to do this? So I could reset it with font if I use like... I don't want to change that to M, or the character. So using character unit might be good. I wonder what this would be in characters. Let's go 3CH. All right, let's look what that looks like. Let's get rid of our p tags for the moment. I want to see what this is. Okay. 2. Ooh. What is a CH? Oh, it's a bit big for 2CH. I mean, I like that it's 1 unit, but 1.9? 1.8? Okay, it looks like 1.8 chars, and then I could do a font. So I'm adding... Yeah, and I just have to do font. So I could just do... right? Border 0 and short circuit it. And that's going to be a lot better than, yeah, than using the chars and so 15 pixels, 15 pixels, and then, yeah, we're good. All right. Let's margin you up. I'm glad I explored that, though. Let's get this up into place. Go over 10, 15. There we go. Hey, I got my width right, at least. 30, 40. Now let's move it up 150. No one's going to be able to tell the difference. Well, let's go 145. Look at this. It's right there. Okay, it's right below the eyes. That's good because those two circles are going to end up covering it. I wonder if I change this to an and. Okay. That actually might be good. And then I don't know if, yeah, I do still need it. Okay, so let's just do that and leave it. Let's fix our padding. Our length is way too long. Love it. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay, good. I want it to reach up into those eyes. Okay, now our next P tag, we don't need to put a selector on it. I know you can do the little, you can just put a letter in here, like an attribute. That becomes your attribute, and then you can just put, like we could do, I think this, X, and then be selected. Let's see if that works. I don't ever use it. I always just use sibling selectors because it's fewer characters. But if you get into really complex situations where that's not really working for you, this is a cool trick for getting it set. Let's say margin. That'll be the easiest way to see 100. If I'm actually selecting it. I'm not actually selecting it. Attribute selectors. How are we doing this? Oh. No? I wonder if it's because it's nested that it's creating an issue. PX? No. Anyways, look up attribute selectors and how people use them. It's there. It's a thing. I just don't know how to use it yet because I don't. All right. And there's some syntax that I'm missing, and I'm not going to look it up right now. Border radius is going to be, let's do 1 inch. That's enough for this size of thing. We're going to change the padding to like 20. We're going to change the background to red. Why aren't we seeing you? Oh, there we are. That's why. All right. Okay, we're going to leave it red. Let's just get into position and size, and then we'll start working on the gradient. Looks like that's going to be bigger, if I had to guess. Negative 100. 15. Yeah, it's that same 15 number, you know? Okay, that looks decent. It's round numbers, and that always makes me glad. We are going to do, because that black circle is not centered, we're going to stack some gradients here to make these eyes. We're going to do a radial gradient and then a linear gradient. Trying to remember which one goes first. I think the linear gradient goes first, and then the radial gradient will go second. But we're going to build a radial gradient first because it's going to be easier to put those eyes into place without the masking linear gradient. And we are just doing £000 because we don't need all 6 zeros for black. We are going to go 10 pixels. It's not very big on this. And then we are going to go pound E because that way we don't have to do transparent on this eye. You know, we're going to overlap what we need. We're going to position this. Do I want to position it at the end or... let's go 20 pixels. Shifting over to the left. All right. Oh yeah, positioning at the end. That gets you there. Oh, that's what I did wrong last night. When was that? You get different behaviors using background position versus your 1Q at things. And this will not repeat automatically, but then if you use the one at the end, it does start to repeat automatically. Which is weird. I'm not sure why. I should figure that out. But that being said, there. Okay, so 20 pixels is the left and right. So let's do 0. And then 20 pixels. Did I get that completely backwards? Yep. 10. Oh, because I did 0. Alright, this is supposed to be 50%. Or else it really does take that 0 quite literally and demand retribution. Alright, 20. What am I? Am I too big? I think I'm too big. That is not looking very circular either. Alright, let's move it up a smidgen. 8, 1, 7, 6, 1, 7. Alright. Alright. So we have that. I hope that's enough. 0.5. Seems a touch better. I hate when you have to do half pixels. This is 2 extra characters for such a small return. What are we doing? We are making our second... Oh, we're making our linear gradient now. Now that needs to go on top. Let's put a space on there. Gradient, there we go. So we get that. And we're going to hit a comma right behind it so it'll show up when we do the thing. Default is from top to bottom, so we don't need that. We're going to go 15 pixels, comma. We do have to do transparent now so that we can see the eye. 0, and it's gonna go to like 30 pixels, and I mean, what's our padding on this thing anyways? 25. It's a total of 50 pixels, so we will finish out with our green color. Alright, and we do have to put a 0 on that. Okay, so we just got to shift things up and down a little bit. Our eye is a little more heavy-lidded than we want it to be. 14, 15, 16, 17. There we go. And we'll rock this one back. 27, 28, 29. Oh, we got to walk it up. 1, 32, 33, 33. Okay. Got our gradients built. All right, we'll just see if we get 100% once I get the second paragraph tag placed. We just do another plus P to select this third paragraph for this guy, and then we're margin him into place. 0, nope, so it's going to be negative 170 again, but we're going to do, instead of 15, let's say 50, 65. There we go. That's not too bad for getting another place in. It's less than a WebKit box reflect on this. All these characters, and then that one, those 3 up there for the final one, it's still less. Okay, well, this plan didn't work out entirely how I had imagined. Oops. Alright, wait, let's clean up some spaces. Oh, you know what I should do before? I need to check, because I'm not confident this is 100%. And I was right to not be confident. And if I had to guess, this little black circle is not at 50%. 25 pixels. Space. 256 is not what I want. 24, 25.5. That looks a bit better. curses. Okay, what do I need to do here? I do think it's one of these circles. Let's see if 0.5. No. Let's leave that one alone. Let's look at this one. Let's come back up. Scroll that down. Man, it's rare that I have to scroll. 99.9. I wish it would, like, I wonder if that's something they could do at some point. Like, tell you, I mean, I guess they are. Tell you what things are actually, like, highlight, hey, your issue is in this area. I mean, even if it's just a general highlighting, it's like, this diff isn't perfect. Like, I don't know what else to do here. I could chase pixels for a while. I have the design. I know I got it, but yeah. All right. Let's leave that at that. Let's go back into our radial gradient. Let's see. 27, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right. Let's move this up. 4, 3, 2. It looks a little bit better. I think that radial gradient, because it's so small, it didn't look super circular. Like, it just... Come on. I mean, you look at it, it looks real chunky, which is weird that it's rendering that way at such a small radial gradient. I wonder what happens when I make the second part transparent. Oh, that's what happens, and we don't need that. Alright, I'm leaving it. Like I said, I had other things to go do tonight. So that's done. Sometimes I'm just not going to get the 100%. And I might as well, I almost want to delete all the partial pixels. They're not helping me any. And just adding a bunch of characters to it. But we'll leave it. It's an honest representation of my work. It's what I did. And it's okay. 357 characters. Ew. I haven't had one that high in a long time. Really long time. That's gnarly. Okay, but that was a fun design. I mean, I do like this thing, but I think I missed it. Oh well, next time. All right, have a good night. Bye.